Okay everyone, this is going to be the next diorama build. What I did was I found these two plastic animals. One is a bear. I paid I think $4 or $1 for at a flea market or a thrift store, I can't remember. This one is a tiger right there. Then I have two scrap pieces of foam that I pick up from Home Depot that I use in dios. This is part of a brick wall that I cut out to make an archway type doorway. So these were just two scrap pieces that were laying around. I recently saw on the Toy Bookie's channel where he made statues out of plastic toy animals. So I'm gonna give it a whirl and see where we go. What I'm wanting to try to do is, I've got this already textured out with the bricks and whatnot. So I'm gonna try to go down the sides to make it seem like it's going down, like there's some sort of stones. This, I'm gonna leave it plain. However, once I do the lines on this one, I'm gonna take a rock. This is just one I recently found. It's part of a road, but it has a lot of texture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work it in once I get my lines and whatnot, or whatever I wanna do to add some sort of texture to it and go from there. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime both of these animals before I hot glue them on the foam. And then the next thing I'm wanting to do is I'm gonna put a black wash over everything and then just pick out some different tones of gray and go from there. But this is the first video clip of some others that I hope to do soon, and you'll see as the project develops from step one to whenever it ends. Again, I saw this on the Toy Bookie's channel, and he does great tutorials. If you want to check him out on YouTube and Instagram, great guy, will answer all your questions. So we're gonna go from there. All right, see you soon. Okay, here's a quick update to the statue. Both statues actually that I'm working on. This is a piece of a road rock that I found. Has a lot of texture on it. I used it on the scrap pieces of foam that I was wanting to use as the base for the statues. And as you can see, all that texture now is on there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a black wash on it, which is gonna seep in those little pieces right there and spots and whatnot. So later on when we do the dry brush effect, it's really going to give it that realistic look for your photography. So again, this is just a scrap piece that I had laying around. This piece right here was part of a wall that I had originally built, and then I cut it out to make a door frame, and it's just been sitting in the garage, so I figured what the heck. So what I did was I went down each line of the columns or the bricks per se, and to make it seem like a block. And it's a lot of jagged edges, but again, it's supposed to be stone, so broken pieces. And then I went with the rock and put the texture in it, as you can see, all around it. And both of these are going to be the base for the statues. Now the next thing I'm going to do is, this is the animal right here. It's a bear. It's like a hard plastic. I'm not sure what it's actually made of. I found it at a thrift mall. I think it was $1 a piece, maybe. And this is a tiger. I'm not sure what this one is made of, but it's hard too, with the exception of the tail. It's a little bit pliable right there. It's got a derby face though. And then that one right here. And they're going to be used as my statues. And the game plan with this, it's already got a rough texture to it. So I'm going to try not to sand it, because I don't want to mess up some of the texture that's already in there. And I am going to base coat all of it with this Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover Primer. It's good for wood, metal, plastic, and more. So I'm going to saturate both of these with a base coat. Then I'm just going to mess around with some different gray colors and dry brush it. And it's eventually going to be glued onto the statues. But I don't want to put them on the bases yet because this might melt it some. Now, there are ways you can use it if you use it correctly by being a little bit further away. But I'm not ready for that yet to try that. But yeah, the next clip you'll see is these being spray painted with the primer. All right. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Okay, as you can see, we are outside about to place the primer on the animals. I also grabbed this lion. This is the one my wife is working on. Figured I'd go ahead and prime it with mine. She wanted to work on this as well with me. So this is the before look, and here is the after look of the first coat. Hold on one sec. Okay, here is the first coat. Try not to get in the light. It's the bear, the tiger, and the lion. So I'm gonna let that dry very good, and we'll see what it looks like after it dries. Okay, put a coat of the primer on the underside of each figure. It's looking pretty good. I see a spot right there I need to get, but it's turning out very well. Very happy with it so far. Okay, while the statues are drying with the gray primer, I'm going to hit these foam pieces with some watered down black acrylic craft paint from Apple Barrel. It's just some water and black paint, and I have it where it's kind of dripping like that. All right, so here we go. All right, I'm going to attempt to show you what I mean. See, I have it kind of dripping like so. That way it'll seep into the cracks. And when we dry brush, it will show some better definition. So just putting some on. Cover up all the foam that you can. As you can see, doing the best I can holding my phone and showing you, but it's just a real like milky type texture right there. And you're just trying to cover it. You can put multiple coats on here. The more the better when it dries, because everything is going to be covered up with different layers of different color paints. So see how we're hitting it just like that? All right, I am going to shut this off so I can do the edges. All right, thanks. Outside, put another coat of the gray primer on, hit any spots that I missed. It's looking really good. As you can see, flip the bases over and put the first layer of black wash on. Of course, there's going to be some spots I miss, but let that cure, dry, see where we go from there. But these are really looking good. Really looking good. Okay, I glued the animals on the base, and the paint should cover that up and just make it look like it's part of a stone sculpture, I hope. I'm now thinking maybe I should have put the black wash on the animals before I put some more black wash on the base. We'll see how it goes from there. All right, thanks. Okay, the black wash on the base and the actual animals worked out perfectly. There's a little spot right there that I just saw I missed, so I'll have to hit that. But it's really turning out great, so very happy with that. More to come. Okay, here is an updated status progress on the statues I have been working on. I have them set up on this dio that I made a while back. I have a Marvel Legends Peter Parker there for scale purposes, so you'll see how big it is. The latest thing that I have done, and you'll see pics and different progress clips either before or after, but I hot glued the animals on the base. Once I did that, I did a black wash on the whole setup right here. And I did a couple of coats of it, which was some parts water, some part black acrylic craft paint, Apple Barrel brand from Walmart. And I did that so that it would go down into the seams, and when I later dry brush, it would add texture and show off the dimensions and whatnot. And here's this one right here. So that's the progress that we have thus far. Once I did that and the black wash dried, then I took two different colors of gray. I think one was a dark gray, one was a nickel colored gray. And I did dry brushing on both of them to bring out the textures that I had put on the styrofoam base and the texture that's already preset on the mold of the animals. Now, what I'm contemplating on doing, and I have not made the decision yet, or leaving as is getting some white paint and dry brushing the top portions. So I might do that, or I might just go ahead and Mod Podge the animals and the base in order to seal it all, to give the paint a protective coat so it doesn't flake off or do anything when I have it in storage or whatnot. But again, here is a Marvel Legends to scale. Here is a close-up of what I have thus far. So I'm real happy with how it's turning out. Put him right there so that you can see. And again, I got this technique and idea from the Toy Bookies channel. Definitely check him out on YouTube. He does great tutorial videos for beginners and people that have been doing it for a while. But yeah, that's the progress thus far, and more to come. All right, thanks. Okay, everyone, here is the final clip to the statue making. And of course, I just had a predator fall. Let me get him straight and back on there. Got him up there to scale to show you how big the statues are. All right, so as you can tell, this is another additional clip onto my statue making process video, and it is the final clip. I have a NECA Predator there for scale. I have a Marvel Legend, and I have Destro from the G.I. Joe line. All right, and this is just, of course, one of the dioramas I made a while back. In fact, it was my first diorama that I made. But here is the finishing touch. This one is the tiger. There's a side view. There's a front view. Another side view. A rear view. The bottom. And what I did was I got some granite colored paint to kind of lighten it up some. And dry brushed it onto the base and to the actual tiger itself to kind of enhance some of the details. Let's see if you can get to see it. And once I did that, there's a little bit of a shiny sheen to it because I took matte colored Mod Podge to kind of seal it and protect the paint. I put some on the statue itself and on the base, and it just kind of helps from paint chipping. It just does a layered protection. So that is the tiger. Over here is the bear. This is the one my family seems to like the most. Right here. There is a front view. There is a side view. Back view. Another side view. bottom view. And there we go. Again, put the granite colored dry brush onto it, sealed everything with Mod Podge, and you can put them on your displays any way that you want. For instance, you got Peter Parker taking a picture. You got Destro in the background doing whatever. Got a Predator coming in the picture just to wreak havoc. But yeah, they'll be great for photography, setting up museum poses, outside statue poses. And again, the animals themselves cost me, I think each one was $3 from a thrift mall. And of course, I used the insulation foam, glued them on with a hot glue gun, and just had fun putting the touches of the paint on there. So I'll do a couple of photographs to include into the video itself, but I definitely want to give a shout out to the Toy Bookies channel, Rocco the Great. He is the one that actually showed many people on how to do this, and I will definitely be doing more. I mean, I can see a lot of potential with like a Pegasus horse or a dragon or anything you want to imagine. Now, my wife is currently working on a lion. She's using one of the bases that I made previously for something that I no longer use. So I'll have something hopefully down the line that she made in regards to this, in regards to hers, and show it off. But yes, I am definitely proud of what came about with this, and we'll take a couple photos. But yeah, it's just learning how to do things and trying to implement it yourself. All right, hope y'all enjoy all the videos from start to finish on this project. It was a fun little project to do, and anyone can do it. All right, enjoy.